Hello guys and welcome to Evolve, the YouTube channel dedicated to electrical and electronic engineering students. In this video tutorial, I am going to give you seven strong advantages of Platformio over the Arduino IDE. And if you are a programmer of microcontrollers, I'm sure you've usually used the Arduino IDE. That's actually cool, it's great, but there is another powerful tool that you can use that's going to save you much time, and we are going to check that. And also, I wish to tell you that the fifth advantage of Platformio, the fifth one that I'm going to list, is actually very powerful because it saved me hours and hours of time, of coding time. So it's very important, it's very interesting that you check that. And also, I have a bonus for you if you watch the video till the end. So right now, let's jump right into business. Actually, as I explained, you always know, if you've been a programmer of microcontrollers and more precisely Arduino, you surely recognize this IDE, this working interface, because it's that of Arduino. So it's the Arduino IDE and it's pretty cool. It's not bad, it's okay. But we are going to jump into the advantages of Platformio over Arduino. So here comes the Platformio. So Platformio, it's simply a platform that enables you to program microcontrollers like the Arduino, for example, and also it helps you to program other microcontrollers like the Node MCU, and it's very interesting. It's very easy, and it's actually an alternative to the Arduino IDE. And the Platformio actually is a plugin, meaning that it's just an extension which is coupled to Visual Studio Code. As you can see, this is Visual Studio Code, and we have the Platformio home here. And if you want to know how to install that, just check in this video that's going to pop up here. In this video, you will see there how to install, how to download and install Platformio. And whether you are on Mac, whether you are on Windows, you're going to see the video is going to describe to you how to do that, and it's very simple. And what I like with Platformio is that the learning curve is actually reduced. It's not steep, it's very easy to understand, it's not complicated, everything is just straightforward. So this is Platformio, and this is the Arduino IDE. So the first advantage of Platformio over the Arduino IDE, as you can see, let me just, before I give that, this is a code. We are going to use this code to test the different advantages that I'm going to tell you, and you're going to see by yourself whether it's advantageous or not. So it's the same code that we have here on the Arduino IDE. As you can see, actually it's a code of an incubator, of an egg incubator, and you can check in this video on how to write this code, how I described how I wrote this code, how I made the incubator and everything using the Proteus design. Everything is described in the video that will just pop up right here, and you'll be able to consult it. So the code is a little bit long. It's more or less 1211 lines. So that's what we are going to use to test the different advantages. So it's the same code on the two interfaces. So let's just start with the first advantage of Platformio over Arduino IDE. So if I just do this and 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 this, what do you notice? You notice that actually Platformio is ergonomically suitable than Arduino IDE. Why am I saying that? When you look at the Arduino IDE, is first of all having this light. The light is, in fact, it's white, and when you're walking there for long, it's really strenuous. You have your eyes that are paining. But working with the Platformio environment, actually you see how it's very cool. It's actually cool. The syntax is there, everything, the color is different, the syntax is just different, and it's really organized. You see that it's actually very okay. You see here the comments are in green, it recognizes the syntax. If you go, for example, to the definition to the libraries, the including libraries, you see that everything is really organized. The colors are okay. But if you go to the Arduino, for example, if I want to navigate to the definition, you're going to notice that for the include of the libraries for the Arduino, you notice that they don't even have the same color. You see some are orange, others black, another one is blue. Like it's just a complete mess. You don't even understand the logic behind it, but it's very organized with the Platformio. So that's it. And I want you to comment below if it really makes sense what I'm just trying to explain right now. So after that, we are moving to the second advantage of Platformio over the Arduino IDE, and that advantage is nothing but automatic code completion. And that is very important because it saves you a lot and a lot of time. And more to that also, it helps you it is your work because you don't need to master the syntax because it just completes. And if you check this program, this code that I wrote is actually more than 1,000 lines. Each variable actually is explicit and explaining what it does, but there are so many of them that I cannot remember all of them. So how is that important? The auto code completion, like for example, if I'm programming and I have already defined, as you can see here, I have already defined my variables. When you've already defined your variables with Platformio, when you come and you're writing your code, let me say I want to write something and I want to use a variable, for example, let me say number of days. You see that it actually proposes to me what I want. All the variables that starts with that, it actually proposes that to me. So it's not a must for me to just cram all of them, but that is not possible with Arduino, because Arduino, let me say I want to write the same thing here. For example, let me say ref unit address. You see that it takes a lot of time and there's nothing. If I make an error, I won't even know that I have made an error. That's the second advantage of Platformio over the Arduino IDE. I am going to wipe this and we move to the third advantage. The third advantage is nothing but the auto error detection. You see that if I write something, for example, like number of days, and then I just end it like that, I continue, you see that actually even without simulating, without launching the build, it's telling me that there is an error. You see that it's telling me that there is an error, so I can just correct this error before I move forward in the code. And that's very important, but it's not the case with Arduino. With Arduino, you will be writing your code, you'll be making errors, it will not tell you anything. You'll be making errors in the program, in the whole code. It will not tell, it's not going to tell you anything. It's by the time you go and compile it, then that is going to list you a bunch of errors that you've made in your program, which is not actually nice because it's going to waste you a lot of time. You start searching for the errors, looking line by line, where is the place where I made the error, and so on. And it's actually really stressful. So let me wipe this. So that's the third advantage. Number four is a better library manager compared to Arduino. So this is the interface, the environment, and if you check here, I can go to the libraries. If I go to the Platformio home, I can just click here and go to home, and while I'm in home, I can select here you're going to see libraries. So when I click on libraries, and you need to know that before you have access to the library, you need to have an internet connection. So when I click on library, I can, like for example, select a library like the DHT22, for example, and I click on search to search the library, and I have a bunch of propositions for the DHT libraries. If I click on this library, for example, what happens is that I have the whole code. I can get versed with the code if it pleases me before I can install the code, the library for my code. And if I don't like the syntax, after looking at the syntax, if I don't like it, I will simply not do that. I will simply not install it. And more to that, it tells me the headers that I'm going to use And but with Arduino, when you want to install a library, if you go to library manager, for example, you're going to see that it's going to list you the libraries, but you won't be able to consult the libraries, because if you want to consult the library, you will need to install it first before you actually consult it to use it or not. But with Platformio, it's quite different. I can just check, and if I am not okay with the syntax, I just go back and I take another library. For example, I take this other library, I check for the syntax. If I'm not okay with it, I still change it. So that's how it works with Platformio. You are really free to do what you want. It's not, you're not obliged to do a certain number of things. With Arduino, if I type here like DHT22, you'll notice that it will appear, and there will be many libraries that appear. And if I want to test a library, I will first need to install it before I go to the installation folder or directory and check the different syntaxes, which is not actually good, it's not pleasing. So what happens if I install and later on I check the installation? In the installation folder, I check the library syntax and I'm not okay with it. What happens? I'll need to install a new one, which is not quite okay. So guys, let me close this and let's move back to our code. So the next advantage that Platform IO has over the Arduino IDE is the fit advantage, as I said, and this advantage actually saved me hours and hours of work, as I said in the beginning. And this advantage is nothing but an easy navigation. It enables easy navigation within the code, right? You see that this code is actually 1100, more or less 1100 and something lines of code, and it's not easy. If I want to like write something in the loop, if I want to write something in the loop for Arduino IDE, for example, I don't know where loop is found. I don't know where the void loop is found. I see a void menu. I'm not seeing void loop. I will have to search among 1100 lines of code, which is not quite okay. Okay, now I've seen the void loop, but you see that it's very strenuous. If I'm looking for the void setup, I don't know where it is found. I'll have to look for it to find it, which is not okay. But with the Platform IO, it's very simple. You simply come here and you click. You have a list of all your functions. I have the loop, the menu function, the discard changes. So if I click just on loop, it's going to bring me to the loop function. If I come here and I just select setup, it brings me to the void setup function. Very easy. And when I was programming with Arduino, I wasted much time to be able to navigate within the code. So if I want to write something and go to another function and write a part of the code, it took me a lot and a lot more of time. And right now we are moving to the fifth advantage of Platform IO over the Arduino IDE. Okay guys, let me come to the Arduino IDE first, and if I'm like, I hover on top of this variable menu button, you see that there's nothing that pops up. But let's check with the Platform IO. Let's say I am just there and I hover on top of it. You see that it defines me, it tells me here that float humidity holder. It tells me that actually it's a float, and I can right click and go to the definition. Like if I right click on this, I can go to definition, meaning I go to where the variable was defined and actually have more information about it. So just hovering on it gives me much information about the variable. The seventh advantage of Platform IO over the Arduino IDE is the fact that with Platform IO, you don't need to select the port in which your Arduino is connected or your microcontroller. Once you've built your code, the only thing you can do is simply you can just click here and it's going to look for the port on your machine alone, and automatically it's going to load into the microcontroller. But that's not the case with the Arduino IDE. For the Arduino IDE, you have to come to tools and you're going to select this is port. I don't have a microcontroller connected to my machine right now, so that's why this is not enabled. That's why it's gray. So when you do that, you come and select the port, but it's very simple and very easy with the Platformio. All right, guys, we've exhausted the 7 advantages that Platformio has over the Arduino IDE, but right now I am going to give you a bonus advantage for the Platformio over the Arduino IDE, and that advantage is nothing but a faster compilation. If you check on the Platformio, if I just click here on build or compile, you're going to see that it's going to take less time compared to Arduino. So we have here 3.57 seconds. But if we come to Arduino and we launch the compilation, let's see how much time it's going to take. It has already taken more time than the Arduino, than the Platformio. I don't know if the time for compilation is written here. It's not written, but you could see that it took much more time compared to the Platformio. Okay guys, there are many more advantages of Platformio over the Arduino IDE that I could not list here due to time reasons. So if you have any other advantage, just comment below. Let us see if you have used Platformio and Arduino IDE. Just comment below if you've found another advantage of the Platformio over the Arduino IDE. Okay guys, this is the end of our video, and I hope the video helped you. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing so that you're going to have updates for our next videos, and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching.